flashy.
Time for your AT&T wake-up call. Sixers beat the Raptors in Game 6 last night, 112-101. Jimmy Butler led the way for Philly with 25 points. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, they both had bounce-back performances. Nick, who do you think wins Game 7?
Listen, I thought the Raptors would close out last night. Obviously, Philly played an extraordinary game, and really, it was a far more lopsided game than the 11-point final score would indicate.
Yes.
They dominated
From the beginning.
Toronto. I think Toronto regroups. I think Toronto wins Sunday evening in Jurassic Park, or in Toronto right outside Jurassic Park, and that they get that win to advance to the conference finals.
Yeah, game number 6, Jenna, really was about pride. They got embarrassed in game number 5 in Toronto. Never had a chance in that game with the Philly crowd looking to do something. I could say cheer for them, but they were also looking to boo them.
And they booed them when they were still winning.
Yeah, helped them get off to a fast start, but their concentration trying to get the ball in the paint. And Ben Simmons, Jimmy being very aggressive from the beginning gets them the win in game number 6.
All right, let's move on to the Western Conference. Blazers forced a Game 7 with a 119-108 win over the Nuggets. Dame Lillard, C.J. McCollum combined for 62 points. C, I'll start with you. Game 7 on Sunday. Pick me a winner.
I think, and Nick, we talked about this earlier, even though this Nuggets team is very, very young, and they've done a great job of not letting CJ and Dame explode, except in last night's game. I believe their experience in winning that game number 7 against the experienced San Antonio Spurs gives them a decided advantage. Game number 7, back again at home. And Nick, you pointed out some other things as far as them playing at home.
Well, they have the best home record in the league this year. They are, as you mentioned, already won a home Game 7. I do think Portland made some interesting adjustments yesterday. It wasn't just that Dame and CJ played really well. Rodney Hood continues to give them a burst off the bench, and they went to Zach Collins, who showed up, the young kid, 5 blocks in that game, taking minutes from Al Farouk.
I'll see if Zach Collins can send us some tips, because I know you're jealous of his hair.
I'm not jealous of his hair.
He's got a nice little hairstyle.
Can I say one thing, though, about this? If the Rockets can pull off the game 6 and 7, and Portland can win Game 7, remember before the year when C.J. McCollum and Kevin Durant were talking, and Kevin Durant said, hey, don't worry about championships. Stay down on your level.
Yeah, that was on a podcast or something, right?
On C.J.'s own podcast.
Yeah.
C.J. could still be playing when Durant's team's at home. We'll know that on Monday.
Okay.
All right, moving on to LeBron James now. Even as he stands in the middle of the proverbial dumpster fire that is the Los Angeles Lakers, he reportedly has visited with Kawhi Leonard during this Sixers-Raptors series to try and recruit him as a free agent. Nick, any shot of Kawhi joining LeBron with all the Lakers craziness going on there?
Of course he has a chance. I think Kawhi, whether or not he's going to leave Toronto, is going to have a lot to do with Game 7 and then that series against the Bucks, seeing what they do. But if Kawhi is going to leave, yes, the Lakers have a chance. But one of the reasons, see, it's to me so baffling that there would be people within the Lakers that want to trade LeBron is the only reason they have a chance is because they employ LeBron James.
Yes.
If LeBron wasn't there and you wanted to leave Toronto, you would obviously go to the Clippers, given all the mayhem surrounding the Lakers and the stability of the Clippers. LeBron right now is the only thing the Lakers have going for.
Right. Now, I'm one of those people, but I got, I would look to trade LeBron only if I totally miss out on free agents.
Right, not now. You're talking about in middle of July if free agency's over.
Absolutely. I'm going to give LeBron James a chance because I don't trust anybody else talking to a free agent. Who else going? Jenny Buss, you going to convince someone? Hey, me and my girlfriend getting ready to meet with these potential free agents.
Send the Rambo over.
Yeah, like, stop it. I think one of the most encouraging things about it is when LeBron makes that phone call, that Kawhi takes that meeting.
Right.
Because he don't have to. Man, I'm concentrating on basketball. Hey, man, you need to do your thing. And I think that Kawhi being receptive to LeBron James, talking to him, is a great sign.
All right, finally, let's talk some James Harden. The Beard, averaging over 31 points per game this postseason, has a chance to take down the KD-less Warriors this weekend. However, if the Rockets don't win Game 6 and 7, he could face criticism for failing to deliver in the postseason again. See, is Harden's legacy on the line in this series?
Oh, absolutely. Because right now he's on the list of, and I've seen some of these lists circulated because they go across sports, and I saw my name on one. Greatest players never to win a championship. They had my name right under Charles Barkley. It's like, dang. Hold that LCC. That's not a list you want to be on? Let me tell you, Harden, last year you had it, man. You had it right at your fingertips. Up 3-2, Chris Paul out. Man, the chance of your legacy just being enhanced, let it slip right through his hands. Golden State goes on to beat the Cavs to win their third title, their second in a row after having the one Cleveland take away from them. But no, man, you don't want to be on this list because there is a regular season list. But the real list you want to be on is the one where you combine the greatest players, where their regular season resume is matched up by some ungodly performance for 2 months and or a playoff series. And it can be as simple as we won one series, as in the player that you pointed out in Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk won one great series, and that was against a great foe in LeBron James. And that right there has padded his legacy. So now people don't look at Dirk's great numbers just during the regular season. They look at the totality of it. And if Harden wants to be in that class, where in this era of basketball, where LeBron's got 3 championships and Steph and KD got 3 or 4 championships, if he can just get one, he won't be like Stockton, Malone, Barkley. He won't be part of that group. Chris Carter, he won't be part of that group, man. Don't want to be on that list, man. Don't want to be, when they Google greatest players, don't.
And Jenna, what do they say about Patrick Ewing?
Greatest player to not win a title.
On that list, right? They don't say, oh, but it was because he ran up into Michael Jordan.
Right.
Same with Stockton and Malone or Barkley. They don't give them the, oh, but you went up against an all-time great dispensation. Since the Rockets have been contenders, the last 5 years, this is the 4th time they've had to play Golden State in the playoffs, right? So there's an element of, man, if not for Golden State.
But nobody remembers that.
Nobody remembers that.
Yep.
What they do remember is exactly what Chris is talking about. Harden's regular season accomplishments are absolutely, you can put them eye to eye with anyone that's not one of the 10 greatest players ever. You can put them eye to eye with Kobe's, and Kobe is one of the 10 greatest players ever. But Kobe's got 5 titles and went to 7 finals. Harden's never been to a finals. And by the way, people think I don't like Kobe. Kobe's a greater career than James Harden. The point I'm making is Kobe won 1 MVP, had some close finishes. Harden's won 1 MVP. Kobe's got scoring titles. Harden's got 2 scoring titles.
And if people don't forget, like as you, he did go as OKC as the 6th man, but people won't even give him credit.
Correct.
For that.
I should say that. You're absolutely
what
right.
I'm saying?
He's been to an NBA Finals, but not as the leading actor, not even as the best supporting actor on his own team. And so, yes, this is the one thing that's missing. And Dirk is the right name in my mind to bring up, because the story of Dirk was an amazing regular season performer who falls flat in the playoffs. Didn't matter. He had taken a team to the NBA Finals. They had lost to Dwayne Wade and Shaq in the NBA Finals. Then he wins league MVP. They win 65 games, and they lose in the first round. They lose in the first round 3 of 4 years after going to the NBA Finals, and then they won a championship. And now Dirk is on any legitimate top 20 all-time list. He's the best foreign player not named Hakeem Olajuwon. He changed the way we look at European basketball players.
Look at the send-off he had this year with 1 championship, mirrored with Dwayne Wade, who has 3 championships.
Absolutely.
So that championship does mean that much. It
changes it. And the other, and I'm going to go back in history, because people right now remember Chuck and Ewing and Stockton Malone fondly, but a lot of that's because people watched them. Once people that watched you or knew you start dying or start aging out of the discussion, your legacy gets forgotten unless it is written in stone. That is what has happened to Elgin Baylor. Elgin Baylor is remembered for being a terrible general manager, more so than one of the greatest players ever. Doesn't matter he averaged 38 points a game one season. Doesn't matter how brilliant he was. I think he's, to this day, the most underrated player ever. You know why? Never got that ring. Never got that championship. So he's not on anybody's all-time greatest list, even though he should. People that watched Harden will always remember him. But when you're talking about generational, lasting impact, you know what he needs? He needs a title. And it's the only thing he needs. Because if he gets the title, then the only criticism of him is, I didn't like his style.
Yeah.
Well, as Jenna would say, miss me with that. That doesn't matter. That's a you problem. And so, yeah, I don't know if it's fair, but of course, an enormous part of his legacy is on the line this series to get through the Golden State Warriors and then finish it off with a championship.
All right, good conversation coming up. Will Kyrie Irving be taking his talents to SoCal? Next on First Things First.
Tell Nick you're going to start charging him for every one of your quotes.
Oh, yeah.
I can do that.